everybody, Light Miser here. Sorry I haven't posted for quite a while. Things just went from hectic to crazy real quick. A lot of updates that'll be coming in the near future on stuff that I've got going on. For tonight, I'm changing out the throttle body on this 2009 Chevy Traverse. The day after Thanksgiving, my wife was driving to work and she almost got there and suddenly went into limp mode, cuts down to 3 cylinders and won't go over 15 miles an hour. She was a block away, so she was fine. Went out to have a look at it and it was being fine, but pulled the error code on it. And I'll list below what the code was. I don't remember what it was, but it translated to the throttle wasn't working right and the throttle body was jamming up. And then we already had scheduled to have the engine mounts replaced on it. Yes, I could have done it, but again, I've been so busy, I knew I wouldn't have time to do it. Had that done 2 days ago, and we get it back from the shop. One weird thing the car was doing is when you put it into drive, it'd take 1 to 2 seconds before it'd kick it into first gear, and then it'd hit really hard. You could go junk every time you do it, and even going into reverse. Turns out it's because of the engine mounts. I thought it was going to be something wrong with the transmission itself. Getting those replaced took care of that problem perfectly, but then suddenly we started getting stability track errors and traction control off errors when we turn the car on. And as I was researching it, it pointed back to the throttle body, the actual throttle motor in it. About 2 years ago, it started having those errors show up, and off another video I'd seen, I had cleaned out the throttle body because it collects oil in it, and the air duct going into it, it'll get a bunch of oil in there, and so I cleaned it out with brake fluid. Again, worked really well for 1.5 years to 2 years. So this is all just coming together. Car's got 215,000 miles on it now, so I figured let's just go ahead and replace the throttle body, do it right, and see how many more miles we can get out of it, because engine and transmission wise, after getting those mounts redone, it is driving like it did 100,000 miles ago. So let's get into it. Like I said, there's a lot of grease involved, so keep my hands clean tonight. There we go. Gotta pull the shroud off. Pretty much do everything on this engine. You gotta pull the oil cap to get that off. So you wanna make sure it goes back on so you don't get junk into your oil. There we go. So this is the air intake. This is the section that gets oil collected in it. And last time that I had swapped this out, this little pipe here ended up breaking. Had to get that replaced. That cost way too much. And then this is the actual throttle body here. I need some Torx on it. Okay, looks like that is a T27. It is not, okay, actually I think it's supposed to be a little smaller than a T27. It's not quite getting a great grip in there. Yeah, it's a T25. Also, last time I was doing this, I replaced the mass flow sensor because it was giving me some weirdness. Yeah, and this box is actually missing 2 screws from some of the oil change places I've been to. Yes, that's interesting. Yes, I could change my own oil. Obviously, I have the know-how, but to me, it's not worth the time and the mess. But there is a national brand I have decided to no longer go to because of how many times they've caused problems. There we go. This has a tab right there. There we go. Pop that off. I don't want to break another one. In fact, before I go too far here, I'm going to go get some paper towels because I can already see there's oil collection in here, which makes sense with what I'm seeing with errors. It's actually not quite as bad as I thought it would be, but there is oil collected in there. And again, it's designed to do that, but eventually over miles, it does blow up into the engine. into the throttle body. In fact, that's what that line is there, is a return on the oil. So there it is. Oh, that's right, and the clip on this broke on me last time I worked on this, on this power line. And so I went old school and wired it in with baling wire. And yeah, that sounds pretty ghetto, but all it's doing is keeping pressure on to keep the connector in. And again, I don't believe that was a problem that my wife saw, because this is the first time I've touched this since putting that on there. Yep, number 10. Or 10 mil. I have to get a shorter extension. Now this will work. So while this does look fairly new from the look of it, it's because I did so much cleaning on it. This is the original throttle body that was on this car. And again, it's got 215,000 miles on it. And I did this cleanup job like I said, about a year ago. Yeah, cleaned out really nice. Because I didn't have the shot before. Like I said, that cleaned up really nice before. Really gunned up from what I've seen too much, but the motor's old. I bought a gasket with it. Had a gasket in it, so I'll take that back tomorrow. Interesting. Came with 2 gaskets. Connectors look the same there. Yep, should be an exact replacement. So then the question is, which gasket do I use? That one's aluminum. That one feels aluminum too. This one's definitely thicker. But this one's the thickness of what the original was, so I'm gonna go with it. Honestly, replacing this is taking me a whole lot less time than cleaning it out. That took a lot longer work. There it is. I gotta admit, I didn't look up what the torque spec was on this, so I'm just gonna torque it till it's snug. Okay. Now to reset my ghetto rig, because it would cost way more than it's worth. I have to get a new end because I end up having to get a whole new harness and then splice that in. And this holds just fine. Put this inlet back in. Snap that on. Air intake cover with mass flow sensor back on. Yeah, that's something the way it should. Now pop this guy back on there. One screw fell. Yep. Okay. And tighten up this clamp here. And put on the control line. Pop off the oil cap. Position the shroud back on. Yeah. Pop it in, that's nasty. Boom, done. Move crap off of here, reset the error codes, and see how we did. So as I've said many times, it's a really good thing if you're gonna be a do-it-yourselfer these days to have some kind of ODB2 monitor. Again, Fixed is not a sponsor. I love it for what they were, but I'm not doing enough videos yet, I realize that. But there's tons of great ones out there. One limitation that I did find, and I'll tell you the reason why later, but I did end up with a Cadillac, and GM has some extra codes that the standard readers, the cheaper ones, don't read. So I'm gonna have to either take it down to AutoZone or get the codes read or get a better reader. Probably the latter. So let's see here. Open up the Fixed app. Searching for sensors. Great, do it. Close enough, doesn't matter. No problems detected. Do I have any errors? Yeah, I still have errors on the screen. So let's see. Scan it again. This will reset codes, but I don't know how to do it if I haven't found any errors. Visual scans. Well, that is an issue. Toolbox. That's not very helpful. Two problems detected. There we go. Clear coat. That's what I'm used to seeing. Now we'll do a clear coat on it. And on some cars, you actually have to turn the car off and turn it back on to get the codes to check. But and like looking over, the codes are still there. So turn it off. Turn it back on. Still having the issue. Traction control off. Then the actual miles. 215,676. And it says no problems detected. Let's do another check on it. It's taking way longer than it should. So let's clear everything out. Try it again. Shut it down altogether. Start it back up. Still giving me the errors. It's annoying. Oh, cool. Warning light on. ABS. Yeah, it doesn't tell me much. So the shop that did my did the engine mounts may have done something inadvertent, and it could also be that I don't have that wiring harness on tight enough. Try tightening that up and see if that fixes things. There, that is on tighter. Yeah, let's try this again. Still getting the traction control off and stability track issues. So app is searching for sensors. Kind of the traverse. And it's telling me no problems found, so I'm going to scan again. So definitely, it looks like I'm going to have to scan with something else. At least take it like AutoZone and see if they'll reset the error codes and then see if they pop back on. Well, looks like I will be getting a new scan tool sooner than I thought. It will. So, like I said, it was fairly easy to swap out. Didn't know I wanted to because the ODB2 sensor I have, either it's just getting old or who knows what. And like I said, I've got to get a new one anyway for the Cadillac that I've picked up. But this is an easy swap out, and I'll actually time you half an hour. Not the cheapest because the part's $200, but it's not something you're going to be doing every day. So have a good night.